Hello and welcome back to Moving Forward, where we discuss community affairs and meet local people with intriguing stories. I'm your host, Ellen Copy, and before the break we learned about the International Institute of Akron. In just a minute we will be talking about the Haven of Rest Ministries, but first Tyler Stackpole from the Moving Forward team talked to two people about their personal stories of how Haven of Rest has affected them. Let's take a look.
I never in my wildest dreams would have thought that I would be 26 and homeless. When I was 26 years old, I found myself homeless, a cocaine addict, big-time alcoholic.
Well, in 2001, I ended up here because I lost my job at a local hospital that I had for 5 years.
I was born into a family of addiction issues. My mother was 15 when she had my older brother, 17 when she had me. My father went to prison shortly after I was born, so I never knew him growing up.
I tried basically everything, ended up in psychiatric units. They would put me on antidepressants, trying to figure out what was wrong with me, and nothing helped.
I was on the streets in Canton, and I went to the Salvation Army for help down there, and they're the ones who directed me here to Haven of Rest Ministries here in Akron, Ohio.
What happened was in 2007 I came back here and got involved in the residential program here.
Getting off of drinking and drugs isn't necessarily the issue. I think about the number of people that I hurt, the relationships that I damaged, all the destruction that I left behind me.
So now to be working here, doing for the ladies what was done for me, is just such an awesome privilege.
Haven of Rest has become my family. I don't have a relationship with my biological father. My mother lives in Texas. I don't have a close relationship with her or my brother. And the men and the women here that I've gotten to know on the staff for the last decade plus really are like my family here.
Hello, I'm Ellen Copy, and we just watched a story on Haven of Rest. Here with us is Rose to tell us about this organization. Thanks so much for being with us.
Oh, you're welcome. It's my delight to be here and to tell you about Haven of Rest.
Good. Now, how did Haven of Rest get started? What's the history?
Reverend C.C. Thomas and his wife Marjorie had a heart for the people that they saw out on the street, mostly older alcoholics. This was over 68 years ago. And they just wanted to do something that would help them. And they were Christian people, and they had a little storefront down on North Howard Street, which was a very bad section of town at the time, but they had a pulpit and about 25 chairs and a piano, and they would bring the fellows in and minister to them and offer them shelter in their own basement of their home, and they would offer them meals. They'd give them a little voucher to a little restaurant around there, and so it started very humbly, and just through the years it has grown. People know they can come there for help in getting back on their feet. And it's not only older alcoholic men now, but we have men, women with children, women without children. We have people there for multiple reasons. It's not just alcoholism.
How did you decide that you wanted to become a part of this?
I volunteered there. And it was a wonderful experience. And I was a volunteer there. I started about 27 years ago. And I just thought it was the most wonderful place because you could actually see people getting the help they needed and getting back on their feet. And so it was exciting and rewarding and fulfilling to be a volunteer there. Well, just about that time, and it was pretty different 26 years ago, but about that time, the director, which was the son of the founder of Haven of Rest, came to me and he said, "We need a food service manager here, someone to put some structure into the food service department." And he said, "Would you consider doing that?" And I prayed about it and I decided, yeah, I think I'll try that. And so I started there as a food service manager and worked there as a food service manager for about 13 years. And after that, a development department was created, and I went into that as community relations. I have loved it. There's wonderful stories that come out of Haven of Rest.
What kind of stories can you tell us?
People come there for a multitude of reasons. Sometimes they are alcoholic, or they are addicted to drugs, or they have mental health issues, or they have just lost their job. And sometimes as a result, they've lost everything. I mean, they've lost their housing, they have lost anywhere to stay, they don't have a source of income anymore, maybe unemployment's run out, there may be a crisis in the home. Anything you can imagine is a reason they could be there. Men, women, and women with children. And so through all the programs and services that we have, it really can help a person from square one get back on their feet. We have seen people coming there just totally hopeless, suicidal, just given up on life. And so when they come in there, we start by telling them, you are a valuable person. You have things that you can offer. You have the means. We will help you. We will walk alongside of you, see that you get what you need to get a fresh start. And it's just wonderful because there's a lot of people that have started fresh.
Aside from welcoming and comforting everybody that comes, what other programs are offered that you mentioned?
Well, there are long-term programs and there are what we call more shorter-term programs. The long-term for our men, there's usually 23 on the residential program, and that lasts approximately a year, give or take. It's sort of up to the individual. And it's a very intense, focused type of program where a man can learn how to just get his life back together. There's Bible studies, there's cooking classes, there's all kinds of things they learn, life application skills to get back on track. And
we saw in that story somebody who did get back on track, Jason.
Yes, yes.
And he said at the end that it's like his family. Can you elaborate on that for us?
So many people come to us and just have no one to turn to, or they have burned all their bridges, and they don't know what they can do, and they can come there, and we love them and help them in all these various ways with clothing, food, education, all kinds of things. But we love them and we encourage them because they are valuable people, everyone is. And so it's just a matter of they come to feel like we're family to them, and we feel like they're a family too. I mean, we see somebody years later and it's like, you know, a long lost loved one. I mean, we are so excited to see that they've got back on track. But we have an aftercare couple too that is a resource for them, and that will call on them in their home if they like, help them with a budget, just help encourage them if they can't pay a bill. You know, what do you do about a situation like that?
Where do you want to see all of this move in the future?
Well, you know, it's always challenging because during the last few years we are over capacity. We have a lot of people that come there for help, and we just pray that we have the funding and the needs to meet and help the people that come in.
So you just want it to keep on growing and keep on moving forward?
Yes, it's a very rewarding, wonderful place.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. Today on Moving Forward, we learned about the International Institute of Akron as well as the Haven of Rest Ministries, two organizations working hard to help people through life's challenges. To learn more about today's topics as well as us here on the Moving Forward team, please visit our website, ztvmovingforward.com. You can also like us on Facebook, ZTV Moving Forward, to follow all of our updates and plans for each week. We thank you for joining us and tuning in to us today, and we'll see you next time here on Moving Forward.